Thanks to the support as a channel member, Dan Miles. In all my years creating Football Manager content, I don't think I've ever wanted a signing to work out more than I want our new 6'5", 18-year-old striker called Chicken to work out. He needs to become a hero. We have to make it happen somehow. Hello and welcome to part 48 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a couple of games for you, both away from home, both in the league, against good old Chalo and Ashford brackets Middlesex. That's not the one where the train goes. That's Kent, isn't it? Where's Ashford in Middlesex? We'll look at that in the second half of the episode. For now, let's look at how we've been getting on. I mean, on the whole, not disastrously. As a newly promoted team, obviously, October wasn't great. That didn't really go to plan, but we've won 3 of our last 5 games, and the ones we've lost, we haven't been absolutely thumped. We do find ourselves in 9th place, just about at the halfway point of the season, 5 points outside of the playoffs. That would do. I think we'd have taken that before the season started, and now we just need to try and put together a run of form and try and move ourselves up the league. As mentioned, we do have Chicken. Chicken is here. All 6'5" of him. Yeah, he's painfully slow. Yeah, he's not very good, but he's 6'5". He's 18 and he's called Chicken. So that to me is more important than his actual footballing ability. So we're going to try and make him a thing that succeeds. We've also moved a couple of our youngsters out on loan. Macaulay and Clark have gone out on loan and they've been replaced with new boys. I think we were just signing Jay Mingy at the end of the last episode. We haven't used him. That was the one my director of football wanted to bring in. I was able to bring in a striker of my own. Taylor Mooney is a 23-year-old Irish striker with 3 stars of current ability, 3.5 stars of potential. He's actually supposedly the best striker we've got at the club. And to be fair, based on his 1 substitute appearance he's made so far, he's got a goal under the 7.4. So that makes things a little bit more complicated for Chicken, unfortunately, but not impossible. It's never impossible for my pal Chicken. Even more important than all of that, though, is Tom Best has signed his new contract. As you can see, he is the one and only player at the club who's under contract beyond this season. The whole of the rest of the squad, currently, they're done at the end of the season and actually just a couple of weeks away from being able to sign pre-contracts. Not that they're likely to, because they can't sign them outside of England. And I don't think many of them are moving abroad. But Tom Best has got a new contract signed. He's now happy at the club once again and has 23 goal contributions from 22 games so far and a 7.37. The man is a footballing machine. And hopefully now we've got a happy Tom Best, all will be right in the world. Although Daniel Pickering's unhappy about our club finances, which there's not a lot I can do about these. I didn't mess around with the scouting budget this year. And we've had a new owner come in and put us even more in debt. So we have to work around. And what we need is another, spot the cup run, boys and girls. We need another one of them. What was this? Oh, that was the takeover, wasn't it? Was that the takeover? That is the takeover. So that counts as income, even though it was just moving debt into a loan. But that, we need to do that again. We need another cup run. Obviously, we can't have one this year because for this year, all of the cup competitions are officially dead to us. It is all about the league. For the rest of the season, let's just win a load of matches, sneak ourselves into the playoffs and get to the promised land of the National League South. Wouldn't that be a thing? Does anyone remember where Chalo is? I figured they'd have to be fairly close to us geographically because obviously we played them when we were down in Tier 9. And yeah, there they are, just outside the M25, Chalfont St. Peter. I'm trying to look for a name of a real place that I might recognise. It basically is just bordering the M25 near Beaconsfield Services. That's a good service station. I feel like we're near Heathrow here, vaguely. Are we near Heathrow? Maybe we are. Let's zoom in on Chalo and have a proper little look from our satellite imagery. You can see there is a football pitch here and a really small. That's a tiny one. That's like the size of a penalty area. Can we have a look at this close up? We can look at this. This is more like it. We can get a proper view. Chalo St. Peter. And there we have, you know what? For a team that started in Tier 9, this isn't horrible facilities. That fence is roughly equivalent to the fence that Peterborough Sports have around their pitch in the National League North. And they've got a little bit of a covered area behind that goal. They've got some proper terracing behind that goal. It's not just a pitch that's had a fence put around it. They've even got a massive shed where you can buy match day entrance and clubhouse. So beer, nuts, and maybe a programme if they're on a cup run. Is that allotments back there? What a lovely little place. But we don't care how lovely it is. We're here to ruin them. And this is the team that we're putting out there. It's Bosworth in goal, a back four of Gibson, Easton, Riley and Leroy. Chambers and Alderson in midfield. Giles, Hapgood and Best behind Butterfill up front. We've got Mooney and Chicken on the bench. I mean, what a strike partnership that would be. It's Mooney and Chicken. Oh, that sounds like a cartoon. Like, you can just imagine a Nickelodeon cartoon from the 90s called Mooney and Chicken. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually existed, but it could exist here at Wembley FC in whatever year in the distant future we're in now. What year is it in game? Does it not tell us the date on the match stats? I always thought we got the date on there. Maybe we don't. It's 2030, maybe. We just saw with Tom Best's contract, it's 2029. 2029, Chicken and Mooney coming at ya. Come on then. Why are we not winning yet? What's going on? Chalfo also haven't done. No one's done anything. No highlights. There we go. Now we finally get a highlight. And I'm looking at this thinking it might be time. Now I am the official buttock sponsor of Wembley FC in real life, which has now been announced by the club. It wasn't just me making it up. The club have now announced it as well, which is good. Always reassuring that I didn't just dream it and then announce it in a video and it didn't actually happen. But I think we probably need to get my logo on the in-game kits, don't we, on the buttock? We've obviously got them on the front, but as we all know, when it comes to football kit sponsorship, the prime spot, the spot everybody wants, is the left buttock. So it might be time to graduate from... Maybe that's how we celebrate getting into the Football League when that happens. Move the sponsor from the shirt to the buttock. It's an upgrade. It demonstrates a higher level of sponsorship, a better caliber of sponsor. Everyone wants the buttock. It's still 0-0. We're not really doing anything. It might be Chicken and Mooney. Get yourselves ready, lads. We might go 2 up top here, just so that we can have everyone's dream partnership. Because Hapgood's not really creating anything. Butterfill hasn't had anything created for him. And we if there's one thing we know about Jack Butterfill, it's that all he does is stands around the 6-yard box waiting for the ball. And then once he gets it, he usually scores. But he's not actually going to create anything for himself. Right, Tom Best, now happy. A happy Tom Best is a dangerous thing. Gives it to Butterfill and now Hapgood. Back to Chambers. We've took the sting out of that a little bit, haven't we? But it's back with Best again. This time, just skin your defender. He's given it to Hapgood again, but Hapgood gives it to Butterfill, who he wasn't quite in the 6-yard box. He was more level with the penalty spot, which is why he's hit the post rather than scoring. Usually ever so reliable, but I think it is time for the boys, the Nickelodeon cartoon, Chicken and Mooney. Here we go. So Chicken is coming on. Mooney's coming on. Mooney is a poacher. And presumably Chicken wants to be a target forward. Yeah, you're going to be a target forward in a controlled possession system. This is going to be fine. Right, there you go. Chicken and Mooney are on. Please let Chicken work out. It's all I want. I'll sacrifice promotion this year if Chicken scores 10 goals between now and the end of the season. I'm willing to make that deal with the universe. If Football Manager is listening, that's fine by me if we do it that way. Right, Alderson is tiring, so Gary Rowe can come on for him. And, I mean, the form we've been in over the course of the last couple of months, not necessarily most recently, but a draw away from home is never a disaster for a team that's supposed to finish mid-table, I guess. But we've just not really created anything. We have been really poor today. Gibson playing it forward, lumping it forward, gone for the wrong guy. Aim at Chicken. Rowe playing it out, looking for Leroy, and it's a poor pass from him as well. Chalfo intercept, and now this has got goal written all over it. I've played enough Football Manager to know that this isn't going to end nicely for me. Oh my word! It's at the post. Right, can we offer some more encouragement? Come on, boys. Let's have a late goal, a late corner. Chicken nods it in. We'll all be absolutely delighted. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen because we've just been so light on highlights today. Controlled possession as usual. Just done absolutely nothing with it. 0-0 away from home against Chalfo. A little bit disappointed in Chicken's debut. And I guess we go again when we find out where in Middlesex, Ashford. Does Middlesex even exist? I thought Middlesex only existed in cricket. There you go. For those of you wondering, Middlesex does exist, apparently, because it's Ashford Town Middlesex Football Club, which it's not a million miles from where we just were. We've got the M25 loop again here. I think we were just up there. You go. There's Chalfo up there. So we've just come down here a little bit. We're doing a little bit of a tour around the M25. I mean, we speculated we might be quite close to Heathrow when we were in Chalfo. Yeah. We may be even closer to it at Ashford. My goodness me, that's a big airport, isn't it? I imagine we're going to see planes going over. It's going to be very distracting. They've got these lovely exotic circles nearby as well, which is always very nice. And apparently this is where the football club is based, but I imagine they play on this football pitch here. Can we get what did I do there? Can we get a close-up view on it? How close can we get? We can get as far as this road, which I'd like to think from this corner, we should be able to see the pitch. We can see the pitch. It's through there, look. There is a football pitch, but more excitingly, there is an airport. I wonder if we flew to get to the game today. Where would we fly from? Probably from Heathrow. Can you fly from Heathrow, just loop round, land again? Is that a thing that they must do? They must test the planes occasionally, surely. They test the planes by... How do you test a plane? Do you fly it? Does it... Like, when I take my car to the garage and they fix it, they then drive it up and down the dual carriageway a bit to make sure what they did worked. That feels like a dangerous thing to do with a plane. I hope they're not doing that today while we're playing here. All that being said, just the one change to the team for this game. Coffey comes in at right back. Leroy drops out of the matchday squad entirely, and actually trying to put together this bench does make me realise we have a squad full of very similar level of players. And I'm starting to think that level it might not be good enough, because you've got Leo Young, who's played a lot of games this season, Leroy, Pickering. These are all players who are not even getting onto our bench today. Mingy, who we've just signed, but they're all players who theoretically are as good as the players who are in the first team or on the bench. They just don't get in. So we've got quite a solid squad of about 20 players. It's a mid-table solid squad of about 20 players. And with all of them out of contract in the summer, apart from Best, it might not be the end of the world to let a lot of them leave and just try and restructure around that plan we had of a squad of maybe 16 of higher quality rather than 20, 23, whatever it is, of mid-table quality, get 16 promotion quality and fill the rest up with youngsters and loans. That might be a better plan, but it's not really a plan we can put in place this season. So fingers crossed we get a late little surge onto the playoffs anyway. If not, if it looks like it's just going to be a mid-table nothing season, I think I'll play through a lot of the rest of the season off camera, because no one needs to see us just stumble along to mid-table. But obviously, if we look like we're starting to have a little bit of a run and there is a chance that we can get into the playoffs, we'll come back for that. But if any, I think I'm certainly starting to look ahead to the summer and my potential plan for that. All that being said, if Chicken starts scoring goals, you're going to see every single one of them. And it doesn't, maybe not every single one, but I'll definitely show you him scoring some goals, because I need it to happen. I am a Chicken guy. If Chicken goes on to get 50 goals in his Wembley career. He's only here on loan. We'd have to find a way to sign him permanently. Once he hits his 50th goal for Wembley, I'm a Chicken guy shirts. New merch coming soon. Probably not very soon, because as we've already established, he's not very good, but he does have a great name. We might just have to find another tall boy and nickname him to Chicken. That might be our new name to call everyone who's 6'5". I have had some 6'5" strikers this year across all my saves. Miles Leeburn in Non-League to Legend. We've had Brendan Critchlow over on Twitch and LOLLUJO too. I have good previous with 6'5" strikers. I don't know that Chicken's going to be guy. This is a frustratingly good goal, by the way. I think Bosworth's distracted by a plane going over. We called it before the match. This lot, used to it. Bosworth, absolutely not used to it. Plane going over. He's looking at the plane, as you would. Planes are interesting. He's got distracted, and it's caused a problem for us. Right, Gibson to Giles, and now Alderson in midfield, who has been probably one of the high points of our summer transfer business. Alderson has come in and been a pretty useful signing for us. He's someone we probably like to keep around. Alderson playing it through to Best, who turns his defender. Tom Best. Best is best. It's 1-1. He doesn't get distracted by planes. And we are right back in this. Ashford, remember, bottom half of the table. If we are serious about the playoffs, this is definitely a match we should be winning. And this is quite a nice goal. Alderson doing good work in midfield, just slots it through to Best, but Best still has a lot to do. He's got a defender either side of him. Takes a lovely first touch to take the nearest one out of the play entirely. And then it is a useful finish from Best as well. Best is best. 1-1. We've certainly been the better team looking at those match stats, although Ashford have actually edged possession, which is very rare. But, you know, second half, Chicken comes on, gets the winner, leaves a hero. Everyone's delighted. That's what we're hoping for here. Hapgood looking for the flick on. I have got Chris Wright back on the bench again today. Hapgood's had a little bit of a run in the team because he has been looking pretty useful. But it might be time to bring Wright back in if Hapgood doesn't start creating some things. And Chambers has just walloped one from range, and it's took an enormous deflection, possibly 2 deflections here. It looked like it came off 2 of their players, but either way, it's ended up in the back of the net and been credited to Chambers. Let's have a look at it on the other angle. So it's Alderson plays it across to Chambers. It is just the one deflection, but it is a big one, and it takes it underneath the goalkeeper. He kind of dived over the top of it following the course of the original shot. I don't know how that's not gone down as an own goal. It looked like the original one was going wide. Best with the cross. Chambers is there again, and it falls to Giles, and that's a huge miss. In fact, it's a save. I was going to say, how on earth do you miss from there? Oh, now it's Dave the dog getting distracted by aeroplanes or possibly postmen as the doorbell rings. And I'd completely forgotten where we are. We're winning. That's good. That's jolly good. I do like to win football matches. Fingers crossed. We carry on. And before we were on 38 points going in, we're still 5 points behind the playoffs, which, in fact, it's even... Is it 5? Hold on. Kev Maths o'clock. Yeah, we're still 5 points outside the playoffs, which I guess wouldn't be the end of the world to end the episode still 5 points outside. It would have been nice to start to close the gap a little bit. I guess 5 points outside, we shouldn't be writing this season off and saying we're just going to go through to the end of the season. We're still very much in it, halfway through. My rule of thumb is always, at the halfway point, if you're within 6 points of where you want to be at the end of the season, so if you're in a title race, as long as you're within 6 points at the halfway point, or as long as you're within 6 points of promotion or the playoffs, or even 6 points from safety at the halfway point of the season, then you're still very much still in it. And I guess that's the exact situation that we're in, because we're only 5 points behind Work the Space FC, which, I mean, who on earth are they? Western Supermare. That sounds made up. Only 4 points away currently. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, let's get Giles off. Mooney's going to come on the left-hand side. Where is he? Get Chicken on. Chicken's coming on as well. And we probably shouldn't play him as a poacher. Let's try him as a pressing forward. I do like a pressing forward. Let's have him up there as a pressing forward. All 6'5" of him. We want a Chicken moment. Why are we defending? That is not how today was supposed to go. We were supposed to be winning. Oh, my word. I thought Bosworth was looking at planes again there. Goodness me. Still 2-1. And I would like a third just to get us comfortably over that finish line. We'll take off Hapgood, and Wright can come back on as part of getting him re-established back into the team. I think he's had long enough sat on the sidelines. Hapgood has not looked as good as I thought he would. So he had a couple of bright moments when we brought him on, and yeah, I guess we've got to stick with the front four that we know and love, although we haven't seen the 4 of them together at any point in this episode, because obviously I'm trying to force Chicken and Mooney. Right, here is Wright, plays it forward to Chicken. Look at the size of him, he's enormous, plays it out to Best. He knows the score there, he's wearing a pair of gloves. There's Chicken again. I mean, if he'd just hit it from there, that would have been nice. Chambers playing it to Best. Best's got in behind, and Tom Best has got the third. It's a 13th goal of the season for him, and that should finish this one off. Put the game beyond doubt. We are slowly but surely putting together a decent little run of form again. And that's good hold-up play from Chicken. I promise you, I'm making him a thing. Good hold-up play. 18 years old. Good head on his shoulders, that boy. And it's 3-1 now, and that should be that. And we're on the attack again. Come on, let's have that. Let's have the Chicken goal. Let's justify the thumbnail, which, let's face it, a thumbnail of that quality doesn't need justification, but it still would be nice to have the thought process of the thumbnail not just being he's called Chicken, which was basically the discussion that we've had to get to the thumbnail that we've got. Right, Best. He's checked his run there, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe he thought he was offside. I don't think he was. And we've kind of, with that little bit of hesitation, have given the ball back to Ashford here. And what we don't want going into the final few minutes of the match is for them to get a goal back and make things interesting. But that's exactly what they've done. things are now interesting again. Unless it's been disallowed. Everything's back to boring. Beautiful. Nobody wants interesting. We just want wins. 4 points outside of the playoffs. It is back on, boys and girls. Wembley are heading to the National League South. I feel like I've gone through quite the range of emotions today, but that'll do. That will do very, very nicely. And if we have a little look, we've got half the season left to go. We'll probably be back about halfway between now and the end of the year, assuming we're still in a playoff push, and it looks like we might just be. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.